Right, so this is an early on stage thing I'm doing. I actually put the cover back on and the cards have been removed at this point, as you can see, because I needed to do this first and foremost, which I guess this is the backup battery that tends to leak. And as you can see, or may not be able to see too well, it actually has started leaking, but I don't see any damage, just some surface stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that just with a pair of clippers. This thing's obviously discharged at this point, so I'm hoping that this thing just pops off like they say it does. Well, I'm nervous about how this pulls out because I know I'll do it quite right. I think that's part of the battery, so I don't want to damage anything. I'll pop it out. Looks like this is about ready to come out. And it did pop right out. It appears to have leaked a little bit, but I don't think it's anything detrimental at this point. I don't see any damage. And this is early on. This may be even probably a month before I get to even partially restoring this. It's very dirty on the inside at this point. I haven't gone through any of the cleaning. I do have some white distilled vinegar. I've actually never really done this before, so this is quite the undertaking, which I'm sure is going to take months and months and months. I'm just going to use a fair amount of vinegar because I'm not powering this on until I know for sure that. And I'm just going to clean around all these contacts around the battery here. And it looks like some of the print's coming off here where the battery goes, so hopefully I remember it is. And I can see where a little bit of the thing has come off, and that looks like it's okay. So I think we're going to be doing all right. I am losing a little bit due, I think, to the corrosion. I hope that's not the vinegar. I've watched plenty of videos and seen plenty of people doing this, and it looks like I've got it all at this point. So this will be a jump forward, or jump back I should say, early on, just because this is one of the things that had to be done early on. And again, this is some guy called it, I believe, the Varda battery. It's basically a clock, like a BIOS battery on modern computers. I'm hoping it can be replaced. We'll see. If not, then I don't think it's a part that's necessarily needed, but it looks like it's fairly easy to replace, as you can just pop it right back in there. So for now, we'll keep that right out and just keep it stored in a safe place, and you'll see a little bit more just here in a second. Yeah, another thing I'm gonna do today, and I hadn't planned on it, but I was just kind of perusing the outside of the computer, and there's a lot of corrosion, and I just want to do a little bit of vinegar cleaning here around some of these connectors just to stop some of the corrosion. And I might coat them in some kind of anti-corrosion thing. I'm not sure what to use at this point, but some are pretty bad, some are not so bad. But I mean, as you can see, they are pretty filthy. This thing has actually been in a shed for the last probably 15-20 years. So let's get these cleaned up nice and good. Looking much better. There we go. And we'll move on next to the video port and just go one by one. We'll try to get the corrosion a little bit under control here, at least on the outside of it. I'll be keeping this indoors, so hopefully it won't go any further than it already has. Some of this where it's rusted, I don't think there's much I can do with it, but again, I'm sure plenty of people can offer opinions on that part of it. I don't want to get too much of the Q-tip stuck inside of it. Corrosion's actually not bad on the inside. It's just the outside of all these connectors. It's just, woof. I mean, just loaded with it. And I might be able to do these a little bit better when I actually get this case apart. This is the keyboard connector, and I'm kind of moved over to a little bit. The keyboard connector actually is what's called a mini DIN. What I've learned from other videos and things I looked up, it's not a PS2. If you want to hook up a PS2 keyboard, you do want to have the converter that goes from mini DIN to PS2 and not try to connect a regular PS2 keyboard up to it. As of this point in the video right now, I do not have the cable, so I cannot really do much, and I really do not want to power it on until it's had a thorough cleaning. And then I even got to check, because they said something about the capacitor caps and the power supplies on these older units can pretty much fry the rest of the computer, so I am not going to attempt that at this point in time. So I'll just finish getting these cleaned up in the meantime, and try to put a little bit of maybe WD-40 or something, just to keep the rust from getting any worse on here. Otherwise, let's get this project started. We already got the lid off, just because I had to do some preliminaries, and honestly, the lid is already in the stage of getting cleaned. It's starting to look good, but I think it's going to need, the lid is definitely going to need to be repainted at this point in time. But I also did a little bit of preliminary work on the back side. There was a lot of rust and corrosion. I didn't want it to progress any further, so I just basically cleaned that up a little bit. It wasn't that terribly bad, but it still needed to be done, because like I said, I'm not sure how long this project is going to take. Hopefully it'll be done soon enough, and you'll get to see this video all at once. So here we go. Commodore Amiga 4000 from, I believe, 1992.